Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Monster Families. Today I have a very interesting one, which is the Baboon Demon, which is not a demon for some reason. Also, believe it or not, Area Summit is missing information, which I trusted my own instincts. So the Baboon Demon appears in various places. It actually first appears in Act 2, believe it or not, with the Dune Beast, and then several of the versions are located in the Act 3 area. There is also a version of the one called the Temple Guard, which appears in Act 5, and there's another version which is missing from the Act 5 monster guest list, and that is this one here, which is called the Night Marauder. The Night Marauder is actually quite unique because the Night Marauder is half invisible. It's kind of ethereal. They're also immune to poison and physical, as opposed to a lot of the other baboon monsters that are not immune to those elements. Another very specific characteristic of these guys is that they tend to run away when they are hurt. And let's see if I can show you this. As you can clearly see, he ran from me. Although they do tend to come back. I'm not sure if specifically this is an HP trigger point, but once they reach a specific point in HP, they will just simply run away from you. The ones in this particular zone are particularly nasty because, number one, you can't stop their regeneration with poison unless you have some way of breaking their poison resistance because they are immune to poison. They're also immune to physical damage, which makes them kind of nasty, especially if they gather around you in large numbers. I am also fairly certain that they have some sort of elemental affinity as well, because they tend to bypass large amounts of physical resistance as well. Their bodies are even ethereal, even upon death, which is really quite interesting. Now, for the longest time, I thought they were gorillas, but they are not gorillas. They are baboons. I don't know why they're called baboon demons. They don't really look like baboon demons, in my opinion. In fact, you know what they kind of look like to me, and this is just my personal opinion, but like I don't know if you guys ever watched Spawn, and you saw like the demon from Spawn. Always kind of reminded me of the demon from Spawn, the Violator demon, a little bit. Maybe the arm's not so spindly as the original versions, but kind of has like that Violator demon kind of a thing going on. Even down to the glowing eyes, although they're spaced a little bit differently. On the Baboon Demon, they're on the sides, and on Violator, they're on the front, but like very similar to the Violator Demon from Spawn. I wonder if there's some sort of like correlation there, maybe when they designed these Baboon Demons, which are not demons, they're animals. Go figure. The Baboon Demons don't really have particularly high HP, but that's not particularly low either. It's like straight mid-grade, where at the top end it tends to be around like 20k, and the bottom end tends to be around like 2k. They're definitely in the middle. Their ability to run away from you whenever they are like hurt does make them kind of annoying to kill, especially if you're struggling to kill them. So when they hit low HP numbers, they will just simply run away, and they come in large enough packs that like this can potentially make a rotating scenario where they're constantly moving away from you and coming back, which can cause problems in killing them. They're not particularly my favorite monsters to fight. They generally tend to be really annoying to battle. On top of this, their mid-grade HP does make them a little bit harder to kill than some weaker monsters within the game. I mean, there's plenty of monsters that have way less HP than them, but there's also plenty of monsters that have way more HP than the baboons. So it's kind of hit or miss. If you can kill them in one shot, that's generally the better way to deal with these guys. Their resistance to physical damage does tend to be particularly high, between 33 and 50%, and the guest version is at 33%. I'm not 100% sure what the resistance of the one that's missing is, but I would assume 100% or higher since they're immune. But it could potentially be even like 110 or 120%. You never know. They have no magic resistance. They have no fire resistance. They do have some cold resistance in hell difficulty, but none in any of the other difficulties, and only 50% cold. They generally tend to be immune to lightning for whatever reason, so 100 to 110% lightning resistance, and they generally have a small amount of poison res, except for the one that I showed you that's immune to poison for some reason. in the guest version, the Temple Guard, the one that we do have the data on, you can see no poison resistance, immune to lightning, a little bit of cold, a little bit of DR, 33%, no magic, no fire. Um, it's just this one that stands out that has two immunities. This one in particular with the two immunities is definitely an odd one, and I'm actually kind of curious why it's not on the list for Area Summit. I tried to look in different various places. I was thinking maybe they got categorized somewhere else, or maybe they were classified as like a special monster or something, but they just don't have a classification. I can't seem to find them anywhere. There is a Marauder, but the Marauder is actually a different demon. It's the Sand Raider type. It's the one that has the multiple arms, and so that doesn't give us any information. I'm not exactly sure, like what these guys are or why they're so special to be excluded from the Area Summit page. But you can clearly see they're immune to physical, they're immune to poison, and they have an ethereal kind of like, visual on them. They also have red combined together with like a green spots on them, which is kind of unique. Most of the baboons don't really have that coloring either. So definitely an interesting version of the archetype. Um, they do have 24% chance to block in hell, and they also have up to 24% chance to block in normal difficulty, or rather, in the original versions before the guest monster versions, although as low as 18%. Overall, just like annoying monsters to fight because of their ability to run away from you. They're very fast too, I've noticed, and they tend to chase you down much more aggressively than other monsters. So not only do they have the ability to chase you down quickly, but when hurt, they have the ability to run away quickly as well, which is annoying. Um, you'll generally see these the most in Act 3, though. Although there are some variants, like the Dune Beast, that show up in Act 2, and there are some variants, like the Temple Guard and the Night Marauder, which show up in Act 5, they're really mostly prevalent in the cities. And in the jungle area of Act 3 is where you're going to see them the most, and it's honestly where they're the most annoying too, because they combine that together with the other running away monsters that are also present in Act 3, which is the Zakharum. The Zakharum tend to be also really annoying for that exact same reason, because they also run away once you've killed Travancore Council. So imagine you're in an area that is fulfilled with baboon demons and Zakharum, and everything is running away from you constantly. It is not fun. It is really annoying, actually. And most of the time, you can't kill anything because every time you get close to killing anything, they run away from you. And then you try to hunt things down, and the rest of them follow you. And then you turn around to fight them, and then they run away. And it's just a really annoying situation all around. If you can one shot them and kill them before they run away, then so be it. But because they are animal types, that generally tends to remove a lot of damage bonuses like undead bonuses or demon bonuses. Holy Bolt is completely ineffective. Sanctuary is not effective. Like Laying of Hands is not effective, and so forth and so on. So they tend to be a little bit more difficult to kill because they're animal types. Um, I don't like them. I freeze them. I kill them. I shatter them. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I do everything in my power to stop them from running away, stun them, freeze them, chill them, wholly freeze them, whatever you got to do. Lock them in a hit recovery loop, stop them from running away from you, and they're much easier to kill. If you can't stop them from running away from you, they're just annoying. And, like, they're not difficult by any means, but they're annoying. They do tend to have really high damage, though, I've noticed. I've actually been hit by these guys before, especially with like extra strong, like fanaticized or extra strong might, especially with amplified damage mixed in. They can slap pretty hard. So sometimes if you're not on a character that has particularly high block chance or defense, it might not be a good idea to get swarmed by these guys. And they swarm pretty fast, especially when they have extra fast, at which point good luck running away from them because they're already really fast. And once they get the extra fast modifier, they will chase you down across the entire map, even if you're teleporting. They're just dumb, stupid, quick. Sometimes you have to deal with them in those situations. Like you actually need to stop and just take them out because otherwise they'll follow you across the entire lower Kurast while you're trying to like get super chests or whatever, which is poopy. There's really not a lot more to talk about with these guys though. I mean, they're annoying. I don't really like to fight them. They're easy to kill if you're on certain characters, and they're ridiculously hard to kill if you're on other characters. I think melee characters tend to have an easier time with them just simply because they can block and dodge most of the attacks with defense. Whereas casters tend to have a little bit less fun with these guys because they deal really good physical damage and they like to swarm. So if you're not careful and you end up getting swarmed by them, it can cause you problems. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals joining me. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you are enjoying the content. And as always, keep watching.